life imitates art. Today, for a change, we're going to look at it the other way around. We're going to take a look at how we as human beings, we have all of our traits, good, bad, indifferent, that are learned traits. You know, we are a product of our surroundings. This is not innate ability. This is something, some habits we acquired. And we'll take a look at music and how we can use music to get rid of some of those or deal with them better, if you will. Imagine that you're going out to a date, looking at the other person. Hey, you like music?
No, I don't like music. I am just not fond of music at all. In fact, music to me, I think, is more important than anything else. And I also think that the projector, the remote is not working, so we might just have to pause the timer over there for a minute so that we can show you this one. You know, what we have realized in these last few years is that you keep your road gig by not being an ass for 22 hours that you spend on the bus than just those 2 hours that you spend being an ass on stage. It's one thing to be an extremely talented musician but a nasty piece of work. It's a completely totally different thing to be a good musician and also a very good human being. Music is creative work and your core as a human being also reflects in your art. Now, here the question is, can music teach us life lessons?
Oh, I believe it certainly can. Let's take a look at it by way of composition.
And the slide doesn't work, so I'll have to tell you. The slide over here should have been composition, when to stop. So I'm going to tell you what a composition is, the way we look at it. Composition is when we start with the seed, thank you very much, and grow and nurture it to something that we are proud of.
And now let's start with an audio example. The first thing we've ever done together, I gave her a drone in E, basically just a simple bass line on an iPad, and I'm like, okay, do something over here.
This is what I did.
Like this.
Ding ding da na na, ding ding da na na, ding ding da na na, ding ding da na na. On top of that, I added another track which went like ding ding da na na, 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 ding. And on top of that, I did something like do na da na do na da na, and this is what it sounded like.
In context, it's this.
Ding ding da na na, ding ding da na na, ding ding da 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 na.
So the basic concept is from the first idea to the end result, other than the time we spent recording, we took very little time to flesh this out. This was idea first, then we added to the idea, we added, and then the next step. The way I look at composition is a very drawn-out process, which since I have way too much ADD most of the time, I don't have the time for it. I like to see this improvisation, which for me is composition on the spot, or composition at the speed of thought. So we go through the stuff, we add, and then instead of going for the next 3 years, we're done. The same applies to human interaction. If you have an idea, spit the idea out, tell the other person what you want to say. You don't have to formulate and reformulate a point over and over again to get your point across. It's not the eloquence that matters as much as the substance of the point.
The phrase we would like to use over here is leave well enough alone. Now, when I was a child and I couldn't get a particular math problem done on time and arrive to a particular solution, I would just bang my head on the wall trying to come to the solution. And my mom told me to tell me this, you know, just leave it alone for a while, go play with your friends, read a book, watch some TV, and then come and attack the problem later with a fresh perspective, with a better frame of mind. And that used to work then. It still works. I still follow the same thing. So when you think that you're not coming to a particular solution about something, just leave it alone for a while. The answer will come to you by itself.
And even though the term good enough rather is either good nor enough, sometimes it really has to be good enough. Because if you spend too much time chasing your own tail, that's really all you're going to do. So we're moving on to the next audio example. You want to change the slide?
Yeah, no, you can.
Adding various percussion elements, conical, etc. Now, when you start something new and you have new people in the room, no matter how badass they are, they listen to you. They listen to each other, they listen to the music. They do exactly what's required. Not too much, not too few. It's the same in a relationship. But then you take this on the road, and after a while, nobody listens. It's the typical road fatigue problem. Everybody stops using their ears. And, you know, if you make your living using your ears, not using your ears is kind of detrimental. So what happens, once the bloom is off the rose, if you will, people don't pay attention to each other anymore, and they blame the other person for not being receptive, and the reality is you're not listening anymore.
You know, as a rule, I don't use abusive words when I'm fighting. I don't even use the F word when I fight, which you would hear me use probably in every word in a sentence. I mean, people who are my friends over here, they know it. I use the F word quite frequently. But then, yeah, Manoj, you're there. But another thing over here is, I don't call them fights, especially between Ed and I. We face this domestically as well as musically. I don't call them fights, I call them disagreements. Don't have fights, have disagreements for sure, but have it with dignity. And here's another secret. When somebody, the other person, is not fighting back, it's really, really difficult to have a fight. You are bound to have difference in opinion, but then Ed knows it very well that I would refuse to have a verbal fight.
Well, and nothing is really raising your blood pressure over to begin with. I mean, there is nothing that you should use the time to get upset about if you can change it. Just roll with it. You know. I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry about that. But when we did this album, you know, I decided to use people that were badass enough that I could actually let them roam around and do what they wanted, as opposed to me directing them all that much. And what happens, you bring a lot of outside influences in, and I've noticed this when I was teaching down at Swanabumi Academy of Music. Students don't really want to ask you questions because they think, if I ask the question, he thinks I'm stupid. No, I want the question. I want interdependence. I don't want dependence, I want interdependence. I want us all to make the whole project better. You know, it's what Mr. George Matthews said earlier, where it takes the whole village, so to speak.
Now, we as Indians have something called Indian Standard Time, which is never on time. So being an Indian born and brought up over here, I have had serious issues with dealing with people who do not have proper time management skills, I'd rather say. And Ed being German, well, it's a different story altogether with him, because Germans and time, don't even ask him about that. So,
you make the trains run on time?
You do, you actually do.
On the same day?
The same day, same year. So now I have faced this on a regular day-to-day basis about time management. Now I tell you this: if you have committed on a particular time to somebody, try and stick to the time. If not, pick up the phone, make a call, and say that I am sorry, I will not be able to stick to the time that we have decided on. I'm going to either prepone it or postpone it or whatever, or send a message. It's really, really irritating when you know that you've been on time and the other person is really, really lagging behind. And it also increases a lot of negativity and internal dispute, which is just not worth it.
Funny enough, it's much harder for her to deal with than me, the German that's used to people on time now. And we go into the next audio example. So growing up in the West, obviously the way our music is structured, and you got a nice lesson earlier for harmony, is all of our stuff goes vertically. We stack the notes on top of each other. If you look at Carnatic music, it's in a lateral sense. The melody conveys the harmony for all intents and purposes. So the closest thing we have over there is funk, I guess, where you have a single chord going on for the next 7 minutes or 5 minutes, however long the tune is, and you have to make it interesting. So you have to be postable for ADD in order to actually achieve it. You have to pull little things out, put them back in, put other things in, and so on. And the same thing happens in life. You know, if you have the same routine day in, day out, be nice to the person. Don't just get up and go, hey, where's my coffee? Like, you know, change the stuff up.
By the way, Ed is the poster boy for ADD, which is nothing but attention deficit disorder. So he's always like, look, chicken!
Oh, look, a chicken!
You know, if you have a task which you don't enjoy, your brain immediately sends a stimulus saying that, okay, I don't enjoy this work and I'm just not going to have fun doing it. I used to have a corporate job. For 7 years I had a very serious corporate job and I was just hating it. Bold, capital, underlined everything, every day to get up in the morning and go to work. And I'm an artist. At the end of the day, I realized this is what I want to be, this is who I want to be. And finally, I had a lot of pressure, family pressure, society pressure, the entire thing of musicians not being in a conventional job and having an insecurity when it comes to earning potential. And then one day I decided, enough. I was not going to deal with this anymore. I was just going to quit my job and do what I loved and wanted to do the most. So if you think you are good or you like laying bricks on the road, do it with a conviction.
And to quote a friend of mine, and he took this line from time management professionals, if you have to eat a frog, do it quickly, don't wait too long. If you have to eat 3 frogs, start with the biggest one first. You're going to run out of time to play, so you got to skip ahead. Tapas?
And the next thing, short and sweet. When to stop? A discussion? Like now? So I think we're just going to stop and just get on the fun part of it, which is some music. When to stop? Do we really know when to stop?
It tells you right there.
We're going to do an acoustic version of one of my very popular songs which I've done with A.R. Rahman for the film Arya Tamil. A lot of people know about that song. folk song called Kini Raja.